Hi y'all, how is everyone doing on this beautiful Wednesday? First Wednesday in the month of May. I wanted to discuss broken hearts. And everybody experiences them, men and women. A lot of times we women like to bash men, but they feel just the way we do. They have broken hearts, they get hurt, they feel despair and lonely just like we do. Father made woman for man, and none of us like to be lonely, none of us like to be hurt, and we all have feelings and emotions. But I just want to talk about it a little bit. When your heart gets broken, it hurts. Your heart actually hurts. You have a sick feeling in your stomach, and you feel like you're in despair. It's a physical thing. Ain't that something? It's physical. And I remember the first time my heart was broken. I was married to my daughter's papa, and he was my first love. So he was my first everything. So when I talk about a broken heart, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I experienced it. It was horrible. He and I had been dating, and I'm not blaming him, because when you're young, you have no idea what it takes to build and keep a decent relationship. And when you do it without God, honey, you're bound to fail. That's all I got to tell you. You're bound to fail. And so we were young. I met him when I was 16, and he was 18, turning 19. And we were together, 4 years before we actually got married. I married young, 19. I believed that I knew what I was doing, and I still do. I can look back on it, and I still believe I made the right choice. It's just that I didn't know how to maintain. I had a fairy tale version of what I thought a loving relationship was supposed to be like, right? And oh boy, I should have been over there. I had a fairy tale notion, like everything was going to always be all right. There was never going to be problems and this, that, and the other, right? So when the problems did arise, I didn't really know how to handle them. I was young, I was immature, and I was also I was a person that held grudges. Like, if you hurt me, I believed I had the right to stay angry, because I also thought I was perfect. I said, I'm not doing anything to hurt him, so when he hurts me, I can't believe he did it, and hold grudges and being unforgiving. I mean, when you're young and you don't have the wisdom of a righteous woman, honey, everything falls apart, because there is no such thing as a perfect relationship. Even if two people are righteous and wise, even in age, you have to compromise. There has to be a lot of compromise and a lot of forgiving and a lot of conversation. So we were both young. We both loved one another. I'm sure he can attest to that even to this day. We both loved one another, but we just didn't have the skills of what it took. I can't get into all the intimate details, I'm not going to go that far. But things got out of hand. We had gotten back together, broken up, gotten back together, broken up. But in any event, I remember lying in my bed and asking God to let me die. That's how bad it hurt. I wanted to die to stop feeling the pain. That's crazy. And when I look at it now, because I was in my early 20s, I'm 53 now, it's insane to want to die over another human being. We have so much to live for. But when we're hurting, we feel such despair. I mean, our heart is broken and you hate the way it feels. Like I said, that sick feeling in the pit of your stomach. And beforehand, wasn't a feeling in your stomach like these little butterflies, all fluttery and exciting? You go from that to feeling a sickness in your stomach when you get hurt. It's amazing the emotions that we experience. But yeah, I felt like dying. I remember lying in the bed, Lord, let me die in my sleep. Lord, I'm so happy he didn't answer that prayer. We don't know what we be doing when we in despair, honey. We be talking crazy mess. We think crazy mess. But thank the Lord he decided to keep me around, because I'd be missing out on all these blessings that I'm experiencing now. Thank you, Daddy. Woo! Thank you. Get me shouting while I'm driving. But seriously, I'm really blessed that the Lord did not answer that prayer. Sometimes we pray and we always want the Lord to answer our prayers, but honey, thank God he doesn't do that all the time. Like, nope, not answering that one. Nope. Thank you for saying no. I thank you for all the no's. That's right. Those no's are just important as the yeses. But I don't want you to think that you're going to always feel just the way you're feeling right now, like in this dark pit of sadness. You're not going to feel like that for the rest of your life. Your heart is going to mend and you're going to be stronger. Now, what you do with that heart that has been broken before after matters a lot. Because what I did, I shut myself down and I closed myself off. And I'm like, oh, if my little relationship could fall apart, then there is no such thing as a good relationship, because we were so in love. And if love doesn't work forever, then I don't want it. But love is not what you say, it's what you do. It's a physical act. So, we don't understand that. We think it's always going to be about romance and everything going fine. No, that's not love. Love is when there's hardship, what you do when there's hardship, how you keep moving forward, how you forgive, how you talk things out, how you be fair-minded. Because a lot of times we're one-sided. We always think we're right. I learned this years ago, though, and I thank God for that, because it's called humility. See yourself, know your faults, because we all have them. And a lot of times we want to blame somebody else for everything. Come on. I mean, there's no potential of growth when you're doing things like that, just blaming somebody else for everything. Nobody is always wrong and nobody is always right. But we have to have the intuition to know when to look at ourselves and say, you know what, this is ridiculous. I need to stop. And apologize. Just humble yourself. Fix it. Make it work. And you have to be with a person that's level-headed as well, because they will have the same understanding. And when two people always think they're right and they're in a relationship, honey, and then both are unforgiving, and it's never going to work. It's never going to work. It takes some type of wisdom and righteousness to withstand, because relationships are not easy. So if your relationship fall apart, maybe it wasn't meant to be, or the number one reason I would say is that you didn't have the skill set to maintain it. And a lot of times we need to work on ourselves before we get all hooked up and wrapped up into somebody else, because we're looking for that person to be our savior. God is a jealous God. You better believe it. And he has every right. He should be our only all in all. He should only be our everything. Not your mama, your daddy, your lover, your children, not even your children. I know some of y'all are like, what, my babies? Yes, you are God's baby, and he is the father of everybody. So he's a jealous daddy. You don't put anybody before him. Absolutely not. So when you tend to do things like that, when your heart is broken, who are you going to run to? It's always him, right? Oh, my Lord, my heart. Oh, God, help me. I feel so bad. We always look at him later when we should always seek him first. Seek him first in all things and everything, because I'm telling you, we're going to need him. He's who keeps us down to earth and helps us have a grip on reality, because honey, sometimes we just let things, we don't get it sometimes. I'm telling you, we can be very selfish and ridiculous, and in a relationship that's not going to work, even in our relationship with the Father. So put him first, and as you are increasing in your relationship with the Father, fix some things about yourself before you go into another relationship with a human being, your partner for life. Because if you don't start to fix yourself, this guy's coming in front of me. If you don't begin to fix yourself, you're going to be in trouble. I mean, in trouble, because you cannot expect the person to make you feel good all the time. Happiness starts within. And in order to be truly happy, you have to have that already before you couple up with somebody else. Do not depend on somebody else for your happiness, nor for your peace. You have to do better as far as that's concerned. Stop looking to people to do things that you should be doing for yourself. Really, really. Don't do it. Setting yourself up for a letdown. So those of you who are brokenhearted right now because something didn't go right, if it's possible for you to fix yourself and then perhaps go back to that person, if the person desires the same thing and wants to fix themselves, and you come back together and you can fix it, that is wonderful. What a blessing. But if you know it's not for you and you know it's not right, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and move on. Move on with confidence, knowing that there is somebody for you, and maybe this is not the time for you to be in a relationship. fix your relationship with the Father. He's going to guide you to the person that's for you. And then, when you find that person, or when the person finds you, do not think that there's not going to be any troubles arising, because troubles are always going to come. They're always going to come. But when you're wiser and more efficient in trying to have relationship goals, your relationship's going to be more effective, because you're going to have some things in place now that, you know what, everything ain't always going to be hunky-dory. That's just not life. That's unrealistic to think that, you know. Everything is never going to be hunky-dory all the time. It just ain't going to happen, right? So let's use wisdom and don't waddle in your pain. That's the worst thing we can do, and I'm talking from experience. Don't waddle in your pain. And it's easier said than done, but you actually have to focus on getting up, doing exercise, get yourself some sun, hook up with your friends and family, do fun stuff, and try to get your mind off of it, and think positive, and pray. Talk to the Father, ask Him for strength, because, honey, we need it. Don't stay stuck in despair, all right? A broken heart can be mended. It can be mended. And do not hold grudges against the opposite sex for the rest of your life. There is somebody out there for you. Somebody out there for you. Love you, family. Have a blessed one.